Hi there, my name is Taro Iwamoto. I am a Feldenkrais practitioner. And in today's video, I'm going to guide you through a short Feldenkrais movement lesson that is going to improve functions of your back and relieve pain and discomfort. I have some general recommendations on how to do a lesson. I highly recommend you watch the entire video first and to become familiar with the instructions and the movement sequence. And that way, when you actually start the lesson, you can just listen to instructions and pay more attention to your own movements and your own body. And when you actually do a lesson, and move very slowly, so it's easier for you to notice difference in how you're moving. And move within your own comfort range. And don't push in and don't strain yourself. And for this lesson, you're going to be lying down on your back and grab a towel or the blanket. You're going to be using that. All right, so let's lie on your back. And bend your legs, and your knees and feet are about the hip width apart. And the knees are directly over your ankles. And from there, it's a really simple movement, you're going to roll the pelvis upward towards the direction of your head. Okay, notice I said roll the pelvis upward. I did not say to lift the pelvis. Okay, this is what you may be doing. So make sure you don't lift your pelvis, but let the pelvis roll up towards the direction of your head. And then let it go and come back. And like I said, and try to move very slowly. And move very small range motion. And when you do this movement, can you just feel how smoothly let your pelvis roll upward and then let it come back down. And can you feel your tailbone is lifting away from the ground and lifting towards the direction of the ceiling? So if initially what's happening is that you can't really roll the pelvis smoothly, then you tend to actually lift the pelvis up and try to reduce an effort even more and trying to move even more slowly. That's always the key to make the movement a little bit smoother and easier. And when you roll the pelvis upward and bring attention to your lower back, and can you feel how the lower back actually moves into the floor and presses into the floor? Come back. And I'd like you to pay attention to your abs and to your breathing. If you put your hands on your abs, and can you feel if you are tensing and contracting your abdominal muscles, or you're holding your breath? And if you can let that go, so do not use your abs, don't hold your breath, and continue to roll the pelvis smoothly. If you don't use your abs and you don't hold your breath, now how do you do that? How do you roll the pelvis easily? And if you shift your attention to your feet, and can you press your feet down into the floor? Not hard, just increase a pressure onto your feet. Press them a little bit. And can you feel how that helps to roll the pelvis upward? It really doesn't take that much of an effort to do that. All you need to do is just lightly press your feet down into the floor and let the pelvis roll upward. There's no need for you to use your abs, and there's no need for you to tense your back muscles. There's no need for you to hold your breath. It really doesn't take that much effort. if it feels difficult for you to do that, it's because you are using lots of unnecessary muscles. And that doesn't really feel good on your body. So the key to really improve the movement quality and improve the function of the back, you have to be able to recognize where you're working hard, and then you have to be able to just reduce those efforts and let go of unnecessary muscle effort. Roll the pelvis up. And release slowly, don't just release them, and release slowly, and then let the pelvis gradually roll and return to the starting point. Repeat many times until the movement becomes smoother. It's not the range of motion we're focusing on, it is the quality, it is the smoothness of the motion that you want to really change, you want to be able to improve. And now, grab a towel or the blanket and roll it up. Okay. And this may be a little bit too thick. You might use a smaller towel. And so you're going to put it on the floor, and then your pelvis, okay, will be right on top. Okay. Make sure the blanket is right in the middle across your pelvis. And now from there, press your feet lightly and then let your pelvis roll upward. And having the towel underneath, and it may make it a little easier to roll the pelvis. Okay, so now once the movement becomes very clear to you, you can really feel the movement of the pelvis rolling upward. And you can remove the blanket and do the same movement, rolling the pelvis upward. Now you have no blanket underneath, but as the movement becomes a little easier, after doing that movement with the blanket underneath, now that your body knows the movement well or more clearly, and I think you are finding that the movement becomes a little easier. Then as you're doing that movement, and if you pay attention, not just your pelvis and your lower back, but also notice the entire spine and notice the head. And how far up through the spine is the movement going through with the rolling the pelvis upward? Does your head move? And if it moves, which direction does it move? And pay attention to your chin. Does the chin move downward towards the chest, or does the chin move away from the chest as you roll the pelvis upward? Okay, so if there's nothing really stopping that movement, allowing that movement to transmit through the spine and in your chin, it slightly moves away from the chest. Okay, maybe you're noticing that. Maybe you are still holding it somewhere along the way that the head is really not moving. But take your time and do it slowly. Eventually, you'll notice that the head is going to participate in this movement. Then you know that you let go of unnecessary muscular effort. That's what we're looking for. And I'm going to take a pause now, and then I'll change the direction and move the pelvis in the opposite directions. So you're going to roll the pelvis downward. Okay. So this time, if you pay attention to your feet,
what happens to the pressure on your feet? So the other way, you press your feet to roll the pelvis upward. And can you use your feet and to roll the pelvis downward this time? So how do you do that? Okay. Almost as if you're going to lift your feet, but you don't really lift your feet, just to taking the pressure off from your feet, like lightening the weight on your feet, and then allowing the pelvis to roll downward. And you're going to find that immediately you may be holding that somewhere. Maybe you tighten your abs, you tighten your back, you hold your breath, and that would stop the movement. So move slowly and reduce the size of the movement. And you can take a pause. Again, take the blanket and put it underneath, across the pelvis. And you can do the same thing, rolling the pelvis downward by lightening your feet. Does it help to have a towel? If it doesn't really help, if it makes it uncomfortable, you don't have to do this part. But if you think it is helpful, and do this one just a few times until you can get the movement. And clearly, you can feel the movement on the pelvis rolling downward. Come back, downward. It really doesn't take that much of an effort. And to do that, if it takes an effort, then you are using too much effort. Okay, take the blanket away. And do the same movement, rolling the pelvis downward. Let it come back. And notice the contact of your low back. Can you feel the lower back arches and moves away from the floor as you roll the pelvis downward? And how far up through the spine can you now sense this movement? Rolling the pelvis downward. And can you feel how that movement is going to pull your spine down? And what happens to your head? Can you feel how the chin actually goes down towards your chest? Like as if you're saying, yes, nodding your head. Make sure you don't hold your breath. Make sure you don't tense your abs. And now combine both directions. Alternate. Roll the pelvis up and roll the pelvis down. And paying attention the quality of the movement, smoothly, how smoothly let your pelvis roll up and downward directions at the same time. And notice how the spine moves and how the head moves. And what you're looking for is that reducing the effort so that it actually, as the movement of the pelvis is actually going to connect to the spine, and so the head starts to participate in the movement too. And you can just, all you need to do is lightly press your feet, let go, and lightly, or you're going to lighten your feet and press your feet, and to roll the pelvis and to allow the rest of your body, spine, your head, to participate in this movement. Okay. That's it.
So now that you have done the lesson, and go ahead and slowly stand up and take a little time and to notice any changes in sensation around your back and any changes in your posture. And slowly take a walk around your room, and do you sense anything different? In the way that you walk, you feel more comfortable, easier to walk, Is anything different? If you notice any changes after doing this lesson, and please leave the comment and in the comment section down below. All right, and that's it for this lesson, and thanks for participating and doing this lesson and watching this video. And if you like this lesson, and please hit the like button, and then if you're new to this channel and if you're not subscriber already, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. All right, well, thanks again, and I will see you in next video. Bye bye.